Thanks a lot, everybody. I'm Francesco Cavallari, and I'm here to share my experience with a non-profit organization, Video Game Without Borders. The organization has been founded at the beginning of last year. I'm here. During my speech, I will try to answer some of special questions like, can we apply a collaborative approach to video game development? Can we create a global community of volunteers or volunteer developers, in fact, involving also people from developing country? And can we really have an impact? Can we organize things? Can we organize this community to really have an impact? But before going on, let's see how I got here. Let's see. Okay. So in fact, I've been working in the games industry for 15 years. I spent 15 years in Ubisoft, and during the 15 years, I've been working on a large variety of games for all sorts of platforms, all sorts of genre. I mean, here you have some of them. Until I got to a point where I needed a change. For me, at that point, trying to make better games and trying to increase sales was not enough anymore. So that's what that was a turning point in my life. And what I did was I really wanted to make a big change. And from the very beginning, I wanted this new adventure to be a not-for-profit initiative. And that helped a lot in having a lot of my contacts, a lot of my friends, of my peers from the games industry to be interested in the initiative and offering their help from the very beginning. In fact, the fun part came from the name. Everything started with the name. I remember I was talking with a friend, and we were discussing about NGOs like Doctors Without Borders, Reporters Without Borders, Clowns Without Borders, and I remember I joked, and I said, you know what? I should create a video game without borders. And it was supposed to be a joke, but in the end, it was not really a joke. I just listening to my voice, it was inspiring. And I said, maybe there's something there, even if it was not very clear from the beginning how it could work. So that's what I started. As I said, we wanted to be no-profit, and that's the way it goes. And we had many people starting to be interested by the initiative, and that that changed the overall experience, the overall journey. In fact, it was not anymore a personal initiative, it became a collaborative experience. It's a journey we're taking together with a lot of people that have been helping me from day one. And to really step back to the name, I mean, Video Game Without Borders. Can we really make games without borders? And to answer this question, in fact, I've been spending 6 months last year in Africa. I've been in Burkina Faso, and it's been a great experience. Burkina Faso, it's a country. I mean, I put the map because most people doesn't even know where it is, and I remember when we decided the destination. I was looking on the internet and I found a ranking of internet connection speed per country. And I was browsing the list and I found Burkina Faso in position 196 out of 196 countries appearing in the world. I remembered, I thought, oh my gosh, if we are going to the country with the slowest internet connection in the planet, can we really make if we are really able to make a game there, then we will be able to make anywhere. In fact, the situation there, it's not simple. They have a lot of challenges, even on basic needs, so like food, health, and education. And the IT infrastructure is really bad. Power supplies, there are power blackouts every day. There's internet connection is pretty bad. 3G connection is a bit better, but expensive. And during my stay there, I realized that how much Africa is pushing. I mean, even if they have a lot of challenges to face, they are really trying hard to jump on this digital world, and there's a lot of initiatives that are moving on there. I had the opportunity to collaborate with two. I collaborated with a local university. There's a computer science university, even if it's not like we may expect schools here in the Western country. I mean, the overall university, they don't even have a connection to the internet. but there were still things moving, and the young generation especially are really pushing hard. An example, at the university, I met one guy who already did a game for Android by himself. It was a simple trivia game, but it was selected as one of the finalists for a national contest. And I also had the opportunity to collaborate with some of the students that helped me during the development of the game as interns. I also had a chance to collaborate with the one on the left, with the Fab Lab. Fab Labs are a community of young people very passionate about technology that are spreading all through Africa. And in this case, they even build their own structure. I mean, the whole arch, you see, they built it themselves with a traditional technique. And they are really into new technologies, and they are really trying hard to help their society with that, to have real impact, a local impact at least. In example, one of the projects they are running over there, it's about mapping all the country for the zones with the highest risk of malaria in order to help NGOs operating in the country. We have been working with the two on games and try to see how we could teach game and how to involve them in this digital entertainment. But the goal there was to try to make a game, as I said, and the game in this specific case was an interactive tale for little kids, for tablets, and the idea was to take a traditional tale from Africa, work with local artists, and try to work with them, together with them, to make a game all together. And that's why we collaborated with so many artists over there. And this is the game, how the game looks like, in fact. It's not been so easy, and after spending 6 months there, I can tell anyway that yes, we can. We can make games in developing countries. Even more, I would say we have to, because there is a big need there to be empowered. So we really need to help them to do their own games and to address their own social challenges. In this case, this mission for me, it was a part of the great experience, was a special one. It was a sort of worst case scenario. We went with one of the worst country in terms of context to make games, and it was also our first mission because we were just kicking off the organization, so it was a big challenge. And in the end, we were not able to complete the game over there, so we are now finishing it in Western here. But still, it was a great opportunity. We made a great progress there, and it was a great opportunity to learn a lot. We understood a lot better how to make such a kind of mission and how to collaborate with them. It's really key to know well the culture and adapt yourself to it. It's really important to find the right contacts. I went to Burkina Faso without knowing anybody over there, and it took me a few months to find the right people to work with them. And we need to find the people who are really committed to make a change in their country, and they're really willing to invest their time and knowledge in doing so. As I said from the beginning, I had a lot of people helping me and asking about the project, and that's for me a key learning of this phase. In fact, there is really a need, there is really a predisposition, a will to have an impact, a will to help. And I'm talking mainly about the games industry itself. I've been working in commercial games for 15 years, so I do have a lot of contacts there, and a lot of people have been asking about that and being interested in joining the project and how really we could take advantage of that. Our answer was to build a community. We are building an open community, in fact, where anybody is invited. And we started from the professional we're interested in, but we are also inviting many more people, because as soon as we started communicating a bit, we didn't even communicate too much yet about the community. We are still organizing and building and improving things, but as soon as we started communicating, we started receiving more and more requests. So it's very clear to us that we are really meeting a need. So we are really answering one of the need to help, to bring a contribution from a lot of people. And when I say a lot of people, in fact, the community involves a lot of different, in order to have an impact, we really needed to build a large community with a very large number of people, but as well a very large number of different profiles. So we're talking about professionals, any kind of professional. It can be indie, it can be employees of big studios, it can be freelancer, but we are talking also about people from the academic world, like teachers and students. and including many profiles that are coming from a very different background or that are not being used to work with games, like psychologists or lawyers. We are in the community. We have a bit of everything at the moment. And the goal is even one step further. The goal is to build a global community, meaning that we want to put together people from developed country and people from developing country. We think that is the best way to help developing country to learn and do their own things very soon. In terms of organization and tools, there's no surprise here. We took from the beginning, we decided let's take the most commonly used tools, the tools that the professionals use every day, and that's what we stick to, and that's totally fine. But on the other side, I mean, we know we are building a global community, and the community will be able to make a lot, but will not be able to achieve the very ambitious objective we have alone. The community alone will not be able to make it. So that's why we see partnership as a key pillar of our strategy. And when we say partnership, we imagine collaborating, putting our knowledge, our expertise at the service of NGOs and agencies. We are discussing at the moment with several big NGOs and even agencies like UNESCO, and try to bridge together with the academic world and the game companies, because all together we think we can really make a change. And that's let's say some example. I mean, imagine some students from developing a game for an NGO as part of their curriculum, or imagine a game company sharing their technology with us so that we can make it would be simpler for us to make a game, to reuse their technology, to make a game, to make an impact game, in fact. Is this a sustainable model? This is a big question, and this is what we are really into it. The fair answer is not yet. We are still learning, we are still experimenting and improving every week, so it's not yet sustainable. This is like we have been learning a lot, and there are a lot of challenges we are facing. First of all, the community, to have a real impact, we really need a huge community. So we need to reach a critical mass, and we are not there yet. We are about to reach 100 members at the moment. And the other thing is we rely 100% on volunteers, or at least at the beginning, we were relying 100% on volunteer contribution. We realized soon that in order to have project advancing properly, we need at least one leader, maybe even more per project. Someone really driving the community, really committed to each project. And the other big thing, it's really, what was it? So yes, we had the community, the size of the community, we need the leadership, and yes, the other thing is sustainability and financial sustainability. So we are now transitioning, we are now evolving a bit the model that we had at the beginning. Initially, we were imagining a system 100% relying on volunteer contribution, but we realized that it's not efficient enough for all the phases of the development. It's working well for conception. To some extent, it's worked well also for pre-production, but we realized as soon as we get to full production, it's not effective enough. We need to find an alternative way to make the production of our games. And that's why we are now looking for funding in order to be able to build a team, to contract a team, and cover the cost for the production itself. The team, are, as much as we can, will come from the community itself. Imagine freelance, so instead of doing a project for another company, they will do a project with us. Games. We are currently working on, we identified in fact 3 big categories of games, and we do have 3 projects right now, 1 per category. The first one is fundraising. We have seen before the tale from Burkina Faso. In fact, it's just the first tale of a collection of interactive tales. It's called One World, A Million Stories, and it will be a free app you can download for your tablet. And within the app, there will be plenty of different tales from different countries, and each tale, when you purchase it, with the revenues will go to finance NGOs operating in the country of origin of that tale. Another example is what we call improving lives. It's really health and education above all. Here at the Games for Change Festival, we do have 2 tracks dedicated to that. In our case, we do have one education program, education project in the works, and it's a collaboration with a German university, the Cologne Game Lab, and with a Lebanese studio, a Wixel studio, Then we have been partnered together and applied for an international competition for developing a game to teach Arabic to Syrian kids that are not going to school because of the war. And we have been selected among the finalists, and we are now in pre-production. The last category we are imagining is changing attitudes. It's meaning using games as a powerful media to really talk about sensible subject and change the behavior of people in a way or another. And a typical example of this, and it's a project we are doing, in fact, it's a collaboration with the French Red Cross. So we are kicking off a project, a very ambitious project, to do a game about war, and especially about the international humanitarian law, that are the Geneva Convention and all the rules that are really setting the limits to war to avoid violence to escalate. Video Game Without Borders is still in its infancy, and we know there's still a long way to go. And 2015, for us, it was the first year, and there's been, well, we are proud of what we have been achieved so far, but still, and we have learned a lot. We know for sure that we can make games in developing country. We know for sure that there is a will, there is a predisposition to help within the games industry and the games professional. And we know there's a huge potential to be taken advantage within the academic institution, within the university and schools. 2016, so what's next? It's what we are doing now, in fact, it's trying to make this initiative like sustainable financially, as I said, try to make it sustainable in the long run and really start to have a real impact. So that's where we get here. So as I said, we all rely on the community. So these are our contacts. And we really count on every one of you, and if you know anybody, please get in touch with us. Just for curiosity, if you want to join the community, if you have a proposal or idea or feedback, we are here to listen. Please get in touch. I will be around today and tomorrow, so just let me know. Thank you.